So how Jonas went from making $1,000 a month for the last 1 year to making 9.4K in 28 days. And then afterwards, now you're on track this month, you're on track to make what, 10K a month, right?
Yeah, I mean, should be able to hit a little bit over 10K this month.
So it's
But
19 days of the month of August right now, 2025, and you're 6.7K
yeah,
commission, right?
yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
easy stuffs. So welcome in. Thanks for doing this.
Yeah,
So
appreciate it.
I mean, before you met me, like again, like how's your life before?
Yeah, I mean, all the high ticket space was for me at that point was just I saw a bunch of people crushing it. Never really got through to it myself. Ultimately, the biggest issue for me was just really not understanding the game of high ticket sales was the biggest issue.
Yeah.
Because I've invested into a bunch of different mentors, group coachings, and yeah, a bunch of things, but nothing really ended up actually hitting for me. Sure, my skill set might have gotten a little bit better each time, but it never actually was the thing that got me more money.
So I remember you were when you were before you invested in me, you were like you spent
Yeah,
24K or something like that, right? Or some
yeah, it's
over
yeah,
20K plus. Like,
yeah,
why did they not work out though? Why did they not work out?
yeah, yeah. I think the biggest issue was that I didn't really have that approach of. I mean, the biggest one was the offer itself. They want really a lot of help to get you on new offers. Of course, I could definitely have done more. I mean, I would definitely always want to come. It is something I've been taught from you as well, is to always take that ownership perspective, to always be the one that's at fault,
Yeah.
which is the biggest aspect to it. So I could definitely have done more, I would say. But I think honestly that the biggest issues that came up with it was there was a lot of focus on the skill set, which is sure a big thing, but offer in the space is also just like, just so super huge. If you're not playing the game of high ticket sales, well, then you're not gonna be growing.
100%. And offer was a symptom at the end of the day, right? Was
Yeah.
I mean, when I was coaching you, I was coaching you a lot on identity, deep work, but
Yes.
also be able to hold that same standard to the prospect, and be able to shift their identity as well, like some subtle
Yep.
stuffs that you do subliminally to crush your beliefs, plant new beliefs. But it had to start from you, right? And you not be
Yep.
on get you not getting the skills that you want, or you not getting offers that you want. It was a symptom at the end of the day on what's going on over here. And I think what was going on, if I remember, was like you just didn't believe that you were good enough, and you were never playing the game aggressively. Like you're playing not to lose, you're playing not to win. You're playing
Yep.
to play not to win, you're playing not to lose, right? So
Yep.
yeah, talk more about that.
Yeah, I think honestly one of the biggest things as well was the fact of like I had a lot of frameworks, I had a lot of word tracks given to me, but I didn't have the mindset, I didn't have the belief system set up the right way within myself. Ultimately, the biggest shift that I had within also helping, people on calls was just being able to actually help them in terms of installing the right belief systems within them. Because honestly, if we can actually just change the way that they think, the way that they are ultimately looking at themselves as well, that's where the majority of the sale will be made, right? It's not going to be made in the objection handling with a bunch of different crazy word tracks, which I thought was at that point the way to go, you know. The biggest change was really just that. If you can help them realize who they need to become, how that person thinks, feels, and acts, and then acting in line with that, that is really where the biggest change will
Yeah.
become.
Before you understood and implemented the mind bending system, the mind bender
Yeah,
method, what was going on in your calls though before you met me?
a lot of objections and a
I was
lot
reviewing
of
calls and you were getting like the strangest objections. I was like, what the heck is this going on?
I was getting, I got to talk to my hamster kind of situation. I mean, they were doing everything. Um, yeah, I think the majority of that came down to just again the belief systems, right? No real pre-handling, weak discovery was honestly one of the biggest things. And then just only relying on the objection handling skills,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Which at the end of the day still wasn't up to par, which what it is right now.
yeah. What's happening in your calls right now though?
Yeah. So what's ultimately happening in my calls is that majority of the actual objection, actual fear comes up early on the call. So I always dig very, very deep in terms of, first of all, pain problem. And then I go into this pre-handling phase, which is ultimately where the majority of the objections come up,
Yeah.
or what is should have been happening at the end. What At the end of the day, it typically always comes down to a little bit of fear, whatever that fear might become. And ultimately, if you have the right belief systems within yourself, whatever they say, like this fear could be whatever, right? Ultimately installing those belief systems and just challenging them directly on it,
Yeah.
of course, in a proper manner, not just telling them that they're, dickhead, but really challenging them in a proper manner. That is what's going to actually help them, realize and help them stay committed to wanting to overcome that fear at the end of it.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense because like the word realize, right? It's not like you telling them. It's like they just
No.
automatically realize and they're at
Yeah.
trance in a way. It's like their brain freezes once they realize they've been selling themselves short. And here's the thing, right? Objection now when it comes to objections now, like how easy is it to overcome now for you?
Yeah. So I've been looking at I typically always track all my sales calls and everything, right?
There
With
we
terms
go.
of
Good job, man.
objections. And majority of it is the, objectionless, or we try to figure out the money, right? Money logistics. The majority is just that. And yeah, sure, sometimes there might be a one or two, like think about it, but then again, you just put them back to the person that they want to become, and then typically always overcomes in that
Yeah.
sense. So
You remember these sessions that I've done? The first session I was telling you, hey, like imagine you get to the point where you can just decode a human being. You can read the human being, like you have X-ray vision, and you just know what
yeah.
objection you're gonna get in the first 5 minutes. Like you read the person, you can sell based on the person, and you were like, well, I wish I could do that, but I don't even know how to do the first 5 minutes properly. And we are like working on that, right? Like,
Yeah.
how does it feel right now in the calls? Because for me, when I realized it was like liberating, when I understood how to really just decode a human being and everything, I was like,
Yeah.
I felt invincible. But what about you though?
But the biggest thing is just being able to have actual confidence on the call.
Yeah,
Whatever they throw at you, whatever happens, it's the flexibility of actually being able to know what to say and actually how to say it as well, right? There's also a big
how to
aspect, of
say it.
course,
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
a lot of, tonality and these sorts of things, sure. But the biggest aspect to it is just being able to actually, connect properly with them, you know.
right, right.
A lot of the things that we also did speak about is the tonality in terms of like verbal pausing, being able to properly slow down also, so we can get the right answers out from them,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And you've been sort of traveling around, I guess, reaping the benefits of it, right? Traveling around.
Yeah.
Where have you gone so far? To your last
Yeah,
client.
so I've been to Brazil, went with a couple guys, just we got like a big Airbnb house and just closed deal from there. And yeah, I mean, absolutely amazing. Biggest aspect for me that completely changed it for me was just being able to help my mom, and my dad, of course.
Yeah,
But yeah, I mean, just this other day, they had a 25-year anniversary. I was able to buy her a very, very nice, golden bracelet as well.
yeah.
And yeah, she's never ever done anything nice for herself. So just being able to buy her that and seeing that look on her face, I mean, that was worth it all.
I guess your mom absolutely hates you now. Like she wants to disown you though. Like she absolutely
Yeah,
wants to be like,
exactly.
hey, get the fuck out of my
Yep.
house. What are you doing
Yep.
right now?
No, I mean she's absolutely in support of everything. She knows that I'm living my dream here, but she also knows that it didn't come from just sitting around and fucking around.
Yeah,
It comes from hard work and dedication, and ultimately commitment to yourself, actually going for it,
yeah,
playing to win, like we spoke about. Not playing not to lose.
yeah.
It's the biggest aspect to it.
That's a good point because there comes with two questions then. First question would be like, why did you quit though? You had all the reasons to quit. Like you were not you spent 24K on like sales coaching before me and
Yeah,
you were making $700 a month. I'm sorry, $1,000 a month for 1 year straight, getting objections after objections. Must have been fucking painful because I've been there as well. Like why did you just quit though?
yeah. I mean, I was taking maybe 10 hours of like availability calls, and yeah, it was not good. I mean, I knew that there was more. I knew that I can do it, and it was just a matter of just like not giving up. If you give up, like that's where you actually lose, right? So the biggest aspect for me is like I just had to find that little change. I knew it was just a little bit of something within me because I knew it was in me. I just needed something or someone to kind of get it out of me.
Yeah.
I guess is what it was.
Yeah. Because I remember the first session you were talking about your mom, right? You were talking about the
Yeah,
biggest reason I'm doing this for your mom. And I believe
yeah,
that, like, that's one of the reasons I couldn't quit as well. It's like, I knew my mom was like just there, in the room, other room. And I was like, what can I do about it? So I respect that, brother. Like you came a long way. Now you're reaping the benefits. 20K a month. I believe that's gonna happen pretty soon. Now, another question would be like, so I remember, right? You're pretty scared when you're investing in me, and it's not about the
Yeah.
amount. I think was a problem for you because you're kind of accustomed to it. It's the fact that you spent 24K and still couldn't make it work, and you were like, what's the point of investing more? But
Yeah.
why did you decide to still do it though? Like, why did you still decide to specifically invest in me, aside from other people? Why did you still decide to invest despite all those experiences?
Yeah. So when I looked at you and we had that conversation, it wasn't just surface level, right? It wasn't just, where do you want to go and then try to objection handle me to get to buy kind of situation. You
I
were,
would objection
well, I mean,
handle though.
sure, you would
Yeah,
definitely objection handle
yeah.
me at the end because I was, pretty scared little boy at that point. But ultimately, the biggest thing for me was I could see a genuine care, and I could see that you actually had a really, really good plan, of course, like how we could get there, right? It was not just about, objection handling frameworks and word tracks. It was actually installing the right beliefs. It was actually going from the ground up, right? From the foundations and actually building a proper skill set that will get me to where I wanted to go, right? And working with you. Just hearing how you speak, how you ultimately portrayed yourself, like that's what helped me at the end of the day. And just seeing that was what I really bought into.
Amen. Amen. Well, I mean, I'm glad that you trusted in me because like I knew you had potential for sure, 100%. I was like, this is the guy that I definitely want to work with because the thing is, you're the type of guy that if I give you one thing, you would make 10 out of it. I knew that. I knew you, like the fact that you didn't give up even after $700 a month. I'm sorry, $1,000 a month again, and just
Yeah.
like getting objection to the house reviewer calls out this is the strangest objection this guy's getting. Like he's trying to overcome these objections. I'm like, you're looking at this totally wrong. Who taught you all this? So I had a lot of respect for you in terms of, and I was like, okay, I told you, you didn't come this far, just come this far, make it work once and for all, right? The bonus was, I guess, if you know how to sell based on identity, if you know how to understand, if you understand covert influence and philosophy, getting on offer is pretty easy. And the bonus, what the byproduct was working with me was probably like the offer introduction as well. I don't do placements by the way, but I do make
Yep.
intros to the people that I trust and trust you enough that you would go crush it. And then instantly, I think you made like 9.4K. Oh, it was like 10K, but because of refunds a little bit here and there, you made like
Yeah.
9.4K. And you were like, hey, Jude, I'm not at 10K. But I was like, hey, well, you're at 9.4K. You're like making $1,000 a month.
Yeah. That was honestly, I mean, it was a little bit annoying not hitting the 10K exactly, but yeah, it was a pretty big jump. I mean, it completely changed literally from 1 month to the other,
Yeah.
right? It was literally like that I, mentioned earlier, like that little thing that kind of unlocked it, like a key
Yeah.
kind of
I mean,
situation.
once it clicks, right? But
Yeah.
also that's the standard is that if you're not making now, it's hard for you to go broke than to actually make
Oh
10K
yeah.
a month. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's like
Yeah.
once it clicks. But it's the position where you're so much in power that because you understand influence now. You're not understanding word tracks, you understand influence. And
Yeah.
it transcends in every part of your life, not only just sales, but dating, I guess, or just like negotiating day to day, right? We're talking with your
For
mother,
sure.
maybe, right?
Yeah,
So
sure.
once you understand how to decode a human being, that's the superpower that like getting an offer even is pretty fucking easy because you'll just nail the interview down super fucking easy as well, right?
Yep.
It's just a way of life, not just a way of closing, but a way of life. So hey man, thanks for doing this again. Any last words for those skeptical mofos that are standing in the bench over there, or in the fence, or is there anyone that is like has been in a similar situation like you, invest all this money and they couldn't have
Yep.
still made it work? Like, is there any
Yeah.
words for them?
I mean, ultimately, just take that jump. At the end of the day, like it's never gonna feel any less scary, right? And if you want to actually invest into a guy who actually cares, not just gives you a bunch of sheets and a bunch of word tracks, well, then June's definitely the guy. So
Oh,
I'd just leave it with that.
I definitely paid this guy to say that, appreciate you,
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I'm
definitely
getting
definitely
paid
gotta get
here.
you dinner sometime, come to Dubai, come to Dubai, Habibi.
Hell
Cool.
yeah.
So that was a good chat. If you guys want to know more, you can DM Jonas or me, and then we'll talk about it. Ciao.